In the cold vacuum of the Andarian cluster, where even the faintest glimmer of hope was often extinguished by the unyielding indifference of the Galactic Council, the Varellans were a forgotten race. Once a proud species known for their crystalline cities and vibrant culture, they now huddle on their dying homeworld, Surival, a barren wasteland stripped of its resources by centuries of exploitation. The Council had deemed the Varellans economically unviable after their primary export, a rare mineral called exonite, had been rendered obsolete by human technological advancements. With no exonite to trade and no allies willing to advocate for them, the Varellans were left to wither in silence. Their once sparkling skies were now choked with ash, and their people were reduced to scavengers fighting for survival. When the distress signal was first detected, it was faint, almost imperceptible against the cosmic noise. Most ships ignored it, a relic of a bygone race, not worth the fuel to investigate. But aboard the HS Resolve, a human exploration vessel, the signal caught the attention of Captain Elena Torres. "Another distress beacon," murmured Lieutenant Kiran Zhao, analyzing the transmission. "Looks like it's coming from the Andarian cluster. Probability of survivors? Less than 5%. Torres leaned back in her chair, her sharp eyes fixed on the holographic display. 5% is still a chance. Plot a course. The crew exchanged glances. Humanity had gained a reputation for diving headfirst into hopeless situations, often to their detriment. But Torres was known for her unwavering determination, and no one dared to question her orders. Hours later, the Resolve breached the atmosphere of Surival. The sight was heartbreaking. Vast fields of ash stretched as far as the eye could see, punctuated by the skeletal remains of once grand cities. The air was thick with toxic fumes, and the planet's dwindling population lived in makeshift shelters constructed from debris. As the ship's landing gear touched down, a small crowd of Varellans cautiously approached. They were frail, their translucent skin marred by soot, their glowing eyes dim with despair. At the forefront was Lysara, a young Virellan who had taken it upon herself to lead what remained of her people. Torres stepped out of the ship, her boots sinking into the ashen ground. She raised her hand in greeting, a universal gesture of peace. "My name is Captain Elena Torres of the HS Resolve. We received your distress signal. We're here to help." Lysara stepped forward, her voice trembling with a mixture of hope and disbelief. "You came? After all this time, someone actually came?" Torres nodded. "We're humans. It's what we do." The days that followed were a whirlwind of activity. The crew of the Resolve worked tirelessly to assess the Varellans' needs. Engineers repaired what little infrastructure remained, while medics treated the sick and malnourished. Supplies were distributed and plans were made to relocate the most vulnerable to safer environments. But the Varellans' plight was deeper than immediate survival. Their planet was dying, its ecosystem irreparably damaged. Torres knew that a long-term solution was needed, and it wouldn't come from the Galactic Council. "They'll never approve a rescue mission," said Zhao during a strategy meeting. "The Council doesn't see value in the Varellans anymore." Torres' jaw tightened. "Then we'll do it without them. Humanity owes the galaxy a few favors, and I intend to call them in." True to her word, Torres reached out to every human colony, every independent station, every ship captain she had ever crossed paths with. Her message was simple: the Varellans need us. The response was overwhelming. Human freighters arrived carrying food, water, and medical supplies. Scientists volunteered their expertise, developing innovative solutions to combat Surival's environmental collapse. Terraforming drones were dispatched to stabilize the atmosphere, and plans were drawn up to evacuate those who wished to leave. The Varellans watched in awe as humanity rallied to their aid. They had heard stories of humans, the species that defied the odds, the underdogs who had carved out a place in the galaxy through sheer determination. But experiencing their compassion firsthand was something else entirely. Lysara found herself drawn to Torres, seeking her out during the rare moments of quiet. "Why are you doing this?" she asked one evening as they stood beneath the faint glow of Surival's dying sun. Torres looked at her, a soft smile playing on her lips. "Because we've been where you are, abandoned, underestimated, left to fend for ourselves. We survived because someone took a chance on us. Now it's our turn to pay it forward." The Zara's eyes shimmered with unshed tears. "You're giving us something we thought we'd lost forever, hope." Weeks turned into months, and the transformation was nothing short of miraculous. The Varellans began to rebuild, their spirits rekindled by the unwavering support of their human allies. Children laughed as they'd played among the revitalized fields, and artisans began crafting new works to replace the cultural treasures they had lost. But not everyone in the galaxy viewed humanity's actions favorably. The Galactic Council issued a formal reprimand, accusing the humans of interfering in natural selection. Torres responded with a scathing address that quickly went viral. "If survival of the fittest means turning our backs on those in need, then perhaps it's time we redefined what it means to be fit. The measure of a civilization isn't its wealth or power. It's its willingness to stand by the helpless, even when there's nothing to gain." Her words resonated across the galaxy, sparking debates in council chambers and taverns alike. Other species, inspired by humanity's example, began to question their own indifference. Slowly but surely, alliances formed and aid trickled in from unexpected quarters. By the time the resolve departed Cerival, the Varellans were no longer a dying race. They were survivors, their future no longer a bleak inevitability, but a canvas waiting to be painted. As the humans prepared to leave, Lysara stood among her people, her voice steady and strong as she addressed the departing crew. "You came when no one else would. You reminded us that even in the darkest times, there is light to be found. We will never forget what you've done for us." Torres smiled as she stepped aboard her ship. "You're stronger than you know, Lysara. Remember that." As the resolve ascended into the stars, the Varellans watched until it disappeared from view. For the first time in generations, they felt something they had almost forgotten, hope. And they knew that, thanks to the humans, they would never be abandoned again.